Joining me right now on the air, I've got Ozzie Jurek. So much to cover with you, Ozzie. Just give me a quick, brief snapshot of June before I get to, I think, a more important question, which is, are you seeing the summer doldrums or have real estate market peak? But let's start with what the market performance was in June.
Yeah, when you take a quick look across the country, we're doing fine. Vancouver's detached prices are up 22%. Toronto's prices are up 20%. Hey, Kelowna is up 17% on detached prices. And on condo prices, it's up 18%. Remember, at the World Outlook Conference, I picked Kelowna as one of the 5 cities, small cities, to invest in BC. So it's done really well. Victoria's doing well. But it's not the whole story, because when you look inside the number, there is some change going on. And I'm not sure whether it's just summer doldrums. It looks to me like we have some major shift underway. Dan Morrison, who is the president of the real estate board, says that the inventory now, the new listings, have crept up slowly over the last 4 months. And he says since March, more homes have been listed for sale in Vancouver than any other 4-month period in 10 years. So we're seeing a lot more buyers, a lot more sellers putting their properties on the market.
Let's talk about the buying side for a second here. I mean, one of the things that you accurately have been talking about, that especially you get into these hot markets, certain neighborhoods in Toronto and virtually everywhere in Greater Vancouver, you started to see these multiple offers. As a potential buyer, I hate that, by the way. Or these, put all your offers in on a Tuesday, and that's too much for me. But are you seeing any change there?
Yeah, there is. There's quite a change. A lot are not anecdotally, because the market numbers are still fine. But we keep hearing over and over again at our meetings a lot fewer multiple offers. And one of our realtors said, you know what? There was actually somebody making a full price offer. Geesh, we're so expecting to get more than full price. But we seem to turn the corner a little bit.
Let's go, the big question then is, are we going into something, I'm not worried about a correction as much as, a more significant slowdown where people can take it easy and shop a little bit more, not worried they're going to lose the latest deal. How would I determine that, though? I don't have an answer to that.
Well, we talked a few weeks ago about there was an interesting thing happening in Richmond, that single-family home sales were actually down. Guess what? West Side is now 35% fewer single-family homes sold this year than last year. The East Side is 26% down. I mean, Vancouver overall detached home sales are down 18%, and Richmond, as I said, 28%. But the new thing is that condo sales are soaring. So while Richmond is down 28% in single-family home sales, it's up 77% in condo sales. So Fraser Valley is up 93%. In Langley, 128%. And in Mission, people are really love Mission condos. The sales are up 133%. So you're looking at maybe a lot more people heading out the valley looking for affordable, and maybe we have reached some sort of a peak in the single-family home market.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I know it's we're making some conjecture here, but maybe finally you're getting some buyer fatigue there in the single-family homes, the detached homes.
Well, you should
maybe. I don't know.
At $1.7 million on average for any shack in Vancouver, and $3.6 million average on the West Side. Maybe it's about time to have somebody is fatigued. I'm fatigued just looking at the numbers.
Well, I'm fatigued when I think about those multiple offers, but again, then you get the ripple effect. And the ripple effect, as you've mentioned, we've talked about with Rick Hugenblum about Victoria, about how strong their sales are, but they look a little bit softer. And I've heard anecdotally, by the way, from several realtors that they're seeing their area much softer than it has been. So maybe we are slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, and so you see usually the newer listings coming on, but the nice thing is that we have the shoe swap participating. We have a 45% increase in detached sales, and the condo sales are stronger. Kelowna is doing well. Mission, as I said, is doing well. It's really only Calgary and Edmonton where you can see the overall prices are still okay, but the condo sales in Calgary are down 35 to 40%, in Edmonton 25%. So we'll see the price declines following for those markets, and it's normal because we have the downturn in employment so dramatically.
Yeah, but we're seeing that ripple effect there. Hey, Ozzie, I just want to come back to something Michael Levy and I were talking about, the new mortgage rules. Can you give me the 30-second, what jumped out at you with these new guidelines?
Well, what jumped out at me is it seems to be the fear. We have all of these statements, but I agree with Mike. There's nothing new in there. I mean, my goodness gracious, you mean to say we weren't looking at qualifications beforehand? But what it will mean is for the last 3 years, we have been tightening the rules to investors. Our mortgage brokers tell us, Ozzie, 60% of the deals that I had 2 years ago, I wouldn't get them approved now. The banks are already tightening it down. One of the things about that Ontario speculation tax Mike was talking about, I believe that was a speculation tax on everything. I think a tax on just foreign buyers would be something entirely different. That's what Hong Kong is doing. And in Hong Kong, the market is, as you and I discussed a few months ago, it's really in a free fall.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Hey, we got time for a quick hot property. Easy for me to say.
Yeah, we got a couple of, on the less expensive side, a great little place called Elkford, BC. It's about 3 hours west of Calgary, a fully serviced building lot, paved road, the whole works, $39,000. And then on Vancouver Island, Hecate Cove, 5.3 acre, oceanfront, low bank, building lot, $180,000.
Wow. You don't say oceanfront to me. I can't resist. Ozzie, thanks for taking the time. And I just want to finish with something to share with our audience. It was Ozzie's anniversary yesterday, and let me just repeat what my wife hears so often. My condolences to Jo, your wife. Thanks, Ozzie.
Thank you. I'll tell her that.
Yeah.